Whose house? Whose house? Yeah. That's right. Rams house, baby. Rams house. Let's get it. Let's go. The Matthew Stafford era is here. I've been saying it for months. Ever since they made this blockbuster trade between him and Jared Goff. I have 2 videos months ago talking about the Stafford and Goff trade and some of Stafford's best plays in his career. If you want to check those out, go check them out now, especially the Matt Stafford top 10 play video. That one has got a lot of traction and it's picking up in numbers too because the season has officially started. And we all saw what Matthew Stafford was capable of doing yesterday. There are so many reasons why yesterday's game was so exciting. You know, it's in SoFi Stadium. It was a home game. They finally got to play a home game in their brand new stadium filled with thousands of fans. And we finally got to see our Rams offense develop the way that Sean McVay always wanted it to be played. He wanted these deep throws downfield for quick points. He wanted to be able to expand more deeper into the playbook to have more throwing plays, not just these dump downs that Jared Goff would do all the time, and the fact that Jared Goff would just be too scared to go downfield in general. And also not to mention the defense, which was #1 defense last year. I don't know if they'll be a #1 defense this year. I kind of have them anywhere from 5 to 10. I think they'll still be an elite defense. I don't know if they'll be #1, but they surely did show yesterday that maybe with a little bit of tweaking, especially on the run game, they might be top 3. And also to mention, I did win my fantasy game yesterday. All thanks to Matthew Stafford, who scored 40 points, and Copper Kupp, who I think scored about 28, something like that, but it was a huge help. Now, for any of those people who still choose to doubt Matt Stafford and what he's capable of doing and how he's not much of a better quarterback than Jared Goff, hate to break it to you, but Jared Goff isn't even in the same league as Matthew Stafford. And I just want to say right now, for anyone who has to still say, oh, well, the Rams face the Bears. Well, there's no big deal about that. It's just the Bears. They're an average team, if not worse. Well, they may be an average team, but they do have at least an above average defense. Look at some of the players they have on this team. You got Roquan Smith, Eddie Jackson, Tashawn Gibson, Alec Ogletree, Akeem Hicks, Robert Quinn, Khalil Mack. Granted, maybe certain guys like Alec Ogletree and Robert Quinn may be past their prime, but they're still capable of performing. And the fact that someone like Khalil Mack, an Aaron Donald type player, only managed to have 1 assisted tackle, it shows what this Rams offense is capable of. It shows what this Rams offensive line is capable of, and it shows how good Matthew Stafford is with the ball. He had 20 for 26 completions, 321 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a 156 quarterback rating. That is the highest quarterback rating of any quarterback on a starting team since like 1968. He already showed that he can make everyone around him look good, as if they weren't already good before. Robert Woods and Copper Kupp, and now you gotta throw in Van Jefferson in that trio of wide receivers. Easily the most underrated wide receiver core in the entire NFL. I would love to show some gameplay from last night's game, but unfortunately I would probably be copyrighted from the NFL because they are, at the end of the day, the no fun league. So since the chances of me not being able to show you any footage, I'm sure everyone has seen the game already, and if you want to go check out the highlights, it's everywhere to be found. But Stafford's second throw as a Ram is a 67-yard touchdown bomb to Van Jefferson. Never would you have seen Jared Goff do that during a game. He would have panicked. He would have taken a couple of seconds, much longer than you have within the pocket, and he would have just dumped it down to Darrell Henderson for maybe a 6-yard gain, if that. 2 throws into his career as a Ram, and this guy already goes all the way downfield for a touchdown. And that's not the only bomb he did all game. He did another 56-yard touchdown pass to Copper Kupp, and he was just wide open. Wide open. Already in this game, you could start to see that Stafford was gelling with Kupp a lot. And even though Robert Woods, I believe, only had 2 catches from Matt Stafford that game, you could tell they knew how to connect really well. That toe tap catch Robert Woods had in the end zone, that was just perfectly placed above Robert Woods, because he knew he'd be able to jump up, catch it, and land in the end zone just for a touchdown. You are more than welcome to watch this video and call me biased, but I'm going to be honest with you right now. I don't see how the Rams are not the #1 seed in the NFC this year. Trust me, I get it. This is the first game of the year, and it was against the Bears. There is a long road ahead. There's now 17 games this year, so they still have 16 left. A lot can happen in that time, but granted, they can withhold from injuries and make it through this year safely. Most teams this past week did not impress me the way the Rams impressed me. And just to comment a little bit on the Rams defense, like I said, they may not be #1 2 years in a row, but I honestly don't think that matters when they're capable of producing on defense the way they did last game. Sure, they allowed 2 touchdowns, but that doesn't really matter when you're beating a team by 20 points. As long as you have Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald on both ends of that defense, this is going to be a defense that's going to dominate. You know, even to a bloomer out of nowhere, Justin Hollins, 6 tackles, 2 assisted tackles, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. This kid, not only did he come out of nowhere, but this is what Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey do. They're capable of opening up the field to all of these other players. Look at what Aaron Donald did with Leonard Floyd last year. Leonard Floyd got all these sacks and all these quarterback pressures and all these forced fumbles because of everything that Aaron Donald was capable of doing on the interior offensive line. That's what Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald do. And just watching some of these tackles that Jalen Ramsey was making against guys who, you know, on any ordinary occasion with the momentum they had would maybe topple the guy over, Jalen Ramsey was just, he stood tall, puffed out his chest. The amount of tackles this guy was making and the amount of like momentum he would take from them and put it back onto them. There's a reason Ramsey is a top end cornerback, if not the best cornerback in the league. He's literally a jack of all trades. This guy's all over the field. Cornerback, safety, middle linebacker, defensive end. It's nuts. And I think another thing that really needs to be said here is the fact that this offense is not done developing. This offense is essentially a project. It's a work in progress, but this project works on the field. Look at how they were capable of handling the Bears. I have no doubt that next week on the road to Indianapolis, they'll be capable of doing this exact same thing over there. You know, this is a team that could win 10 games with Goff. This is a team that under Sean McVay with Goff, they've gone positive winning records every single year. This is a team that went to the Super Bowl with Goff, but it wasn't enough anymore because after that Super Bowl, Goff has done nothing but take steps backwards, and he has absolutely no interest in taking more steps forwards. Whereas with Matthew Stafford, he wants that. He's been in this league for over 12 years, and he wants to be able to prove that he can get to the big game and win it. And after seeing some of these throws and some of these plays they ran on offense, it proves to me that they can get there. I mean, they were scoring points so quickly that they didn't have enough time with the ball to make me see what they are truly capable of on offense. I'm sure we are scratching the surface of this offense because every time they had the ball, within 3 to 5 plays, they were scoring. And you want to talk about some of these deep throws Matt Stafford was throwing? I mean, we all knew he had an arm. We all knew he had accuracy. We all knew he had tight spirals. But even simple things like he was getting everyone involved in this game. Copper Kupp, 7 receptions, 108 yards, a touchdown. Van Jefferson, 2 for 80 and a touchdown. Robert Woods, 3 for 27 and a touchdown. Then he had Deshaun Jackson, 2 for 21, and then Darrell Henderson, 1 for 17. How about Tyler Higbee? 5 for 68. And Tyler Higbee had some decent plays that got them first downs and more. I mean, when you saw Jared Goff with Tyler Higbee, Sean McVay knew Tyler Higbee was ready to take that next step. But for some reason, Jared Goff didn't know how to utilize him anymore. Ever since that 3-touchdown game he had against the Eagles last year, Tyler Higbee hasn't really been anywhere to be found, and a lot of that has to be put on Jared Goff's part for not getting him involved in the game. Matt Stafford is going to make all of these wide receivers shine. Look, I just wanted to make this video because I just want everyone to realize that Matt Stafford's the real deal, and if you still don't believe that, I don't know if there's anything more I could do to convince you. That's your opinion, and so be it. But just wait till he continues to put the league on fire this year with the amount of help and support he has, and the fact that he finally has a team that has a true defense. That is how confident I am in his capabilities and what this team can do together. But anyways, everyone, that is it for this video. I am so excited that football season is back, and I know, just like me, so many other people are as well. Please leave a like and subscribe. It really does help me out, especially if you want to see more videos like this or any other video I have coming your way in general. And just like usual, I will talk to you all very soon. Go Rams.